Hey everybody, welcome back. First, I'm going to take a look at a request that I had, which was to show the stock score of the card without any modifications, which was 13,228. Changing the power level did not affect this score at all. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at the voltages and what they are when you flip the dip switches on the back of the card. We'll start out with NVVDD, and this is the core voltage for the GPU. Switch NV1 is the one we'll be using. Off, we have 1.092 volts. One switch, we have 1.108 volts. And two switches on, we have 1.147 volts. Now, if we use the PX1's 100 offset, we get 1.11 volts with them both off. With one switch on, we get 1.128 volts, and with two switches on, we get 1.167 volts. Now let's move on to MSVDD, which is another core voltage. With the switches set to off, we have 1.080 volts. One switch on honestly didn't make any difference, always showing around the same as off at 1.081 volts, and two switches on, 1.132 volts. Now I don't know if this is by design or if the card I have in particular is having a problem, but the one switch on didn't matter if it was number 1 or 2, no change at all. And for the last voltage, using the dip switches on the back, we have FBVDD, which is your memory voltage. Setting it to off, we have 1.393 volts. One switch on, we have 1.419 volts. And two switches on, we have 1.444 volts. And for our starting point, let's look at what we got without the dip switches on the back. And that was a 14,293. And to achieve that score, we used 1100 on the memory and a 135 offset on the core. Of course, max voltage and power limits will always apply. And for a stock setup, but using the dip switches on the back, we got a 14,581 using a 150 offset for the core clock and 1100 offset for the memory, along with both of the NVVDD switches flipped and one MSVDD switch. And for our top score so far, we used a portable AC unit across the radiator, ducted it with cardboard as usual, and we achieved a 15,039 with an average temp of 35 on the GPU itself. It started out around 10 to 11 degrees Celsius. To achieve this score, we used a core clock offset of 145, a memory offset of 1,150, and we also used both of the NVVDD switches and both of the MSVDD switches. So for the next update, I'm going to try and use the classified utility as it's released and see what we can do there without changing the cooling equipment that comes on the card, and also look at what the actual overclocks are for daily gaming. Until next time, thanks for watching.